You talk about all the leaders that have been in this country. What are we doing to ourselves? I mean, if this kind of allegation comes through and everyone who's anyone just focuses on them, who's talking about, well, if you've got allegations, where are those institutions that should have handled all of this?
Fantastic.
What's going on?
I said, look, as a former president, if you are not playing to the gallery, you know that, oh, there are snipers somewhere. The president is allegedly training these snipers. In Abacha's time, even people came out to say, look, the presidency is training members of National Guards. And some of us know even people, recruits, who are members of this National Guard and the way they carry themselves then. You know, but in this case, a former president just comes out and say, oh, there are some people on watch list, political watch lists, and we say, oh, these allegations are so grave, you need to prove your innocence. Oh, there are snipers that have been trained somewhere. No, you need to prove your innocence.
Would that not be because people...
For me, what we should have asked is, Oga, Baba, please, can you substantiate more to the appropriate agencies?
How will he substantiate? Because, I mean, here we are.
It is not to me, it's not to you, Chamberlain.
Yeah, I know, because even if it goes to the police, have we seen any president in this country since inception being invited for questioning by the police?
That's also. And so, if you now say, being a former president, you know that snipers are being trained, and then you tell the public snipers are being trained somewhere, what do you intend to achieve? Going back to your question now. Knowing fully well that as a former president, the IG of police, the chief of army staff, the chief of naval staff, the chief of air staff were all tools in your hands.
You know, there are many...
And then also, quickly also, Mr. President's response was, I tried to raise the bar in electoral management in Nigeria. And we all saw this happen. For the first time, we are seeing opposition party winning elections at the state levels. In Obasanjo's time, it was do or die. PDP must win the election, whether you like it or not. At the end of the day, go to court. That was why Fayose said, we will no longer wait for them to rig us out. We will kill ourselves at the poll. It was a bad precedent. And we remember the Morris Iwu's tenure, who was almost an extension of the ruling party.
Mr. Shoma, again, we are falling in, even though you say...
No, you asked me to mention specifics in the letter.
I know, just a moment. What's the trap we seem to be falling into? It's the same trap you say Nigerians should avoid.
Exactly, but you now brought the question. You asked me the question that I should not compare.
Just a moment. I did not ask you to compare.
That's the import of your question.
Then. No, I didn't ask you to compare. I simply asked... What areas
there's no
have
way.
your mind or has your mind been disabused
on? And there is no way I can answer that question without looking at both letters.
No,
the letter and the response.
Just a moment.
In which area? Based on the letter.
Mr. Shoma, just a moment. What you also seem to be doing is you're comparing administrations. That's what you're doing.
No,
I'm simply saying...
That's your question. That's why I said we should not.
Just a moment. There are specific allegations. There are allegations on corruption. You have said that there's nothing that was raised in that letter aside the allegation of snipers that you or we haven't raised on, Nigerians.
Like corruption.
Even
the Stella Odua's case.
Let us talk
Some
about...
of us have asked Stella Odua to resign.
Let's talk about that issue. I mean, that is one particular issue that was raised in that particular letter and, has also been replied very extensively in this letter as well. Is your mind or has your mind been disabused upon that particular allegation?
No, not at all. On the issue of corruption, not at all. I would not sit down here and tell you the current president has been fighting corruption. No, I won't.
Why wouldn't you? Because, I mean, it's very extensive. First of all, the president goes to tries to trace the history of corruption.
The National Assembly, both the executive and the National Assembly, all of them. Also, I will measure the judiciary. The three arms of government. From 1999 till date, we have not seen anything. What we are saying is, banters. You remember, let me begin to narrate. You remember the case of Farouk Lawal. Channels reported that matter extensively. Till date, we've surreptitiously swept that under the carpet the way we are used to.
Even though the matter is in court.
Even though the matter is in, you say even though the matter is in court, but
yeah,
gradually
but
it's no longer in the public domain, and so anything can happen.
It's in your domain.
Is it not the right domain?
Anything can happen.
You're a legal practitioner.
It's in my domain, and so when it's no longer reported, when it's no longer in the public, you know, anything can happen.
The
So,
question
but
now
when you
again
keep
is-
it, when you keep it
yes.
in the eye of the public,
Yes.
as journalists, when you keep it in the eye of the public and money people, you are informing the people that look something this, and then they will now begin to monitor this event. Oh, this shouldn't happen.
Mr.
This is
Shoma.
happening. If
Mr.
a judge gives an order that he ought not to grant under normal circumstances, the public will cry out.
Just a moment.
But when it's done, you know, quietly, like
Just a moment, Mr. Oshoma. The question now will be, how is that the president's fault?
I'm not blaming the president. I'm just
Because
telling you that
I'm-
all arms,
Yes.
all of them. Also, when you hear the National Assembly shout, oh, the presidency is corrupt, the presidency says, no, you are not being fair to us, I'm telling you now that all of them, the National Assembly, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, that's why we are complaining. Look at the case of Bode George.